Let's get started. Everybody ready to go? Welcome to everybody to My AI Live. Today's Wednesday, January 15th. My AI Live. We're getting together every Monday through Friday. We're helping you learn the amazing My AI system. We're also teaching you different ways of creating conversations on social media, conversations that actually move the needle on your business, right? We can just post and post and post and post and post, but unless we know how to engage and really do that back and forth and then where to take it from there, we may not get the results we're looking for. So we try to make this well-rounded in all different directions so that you can learn all the different ways that you are able to actually create these amazing conversations. For some of us, we've been doing this together for years, way before we were acquired by NowSite, and we did it through text messages and social media and other things like that. Now we've got the AI component that's going to make this so much easier for everybody as well. So first of all, if you're brand new, please put a 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat if you are brand new. Ammer. Ammer. Ammer? Ammer. Ammer or Amar?
Hi, morning. Amir.
Amir. Amir, welcome. So happy to have you here. Carol invited you, and I'm so glad that you're here today.
Thank you.
We have a lot of fun, and so we'll have a question time also. And let's see, Pamela's new. Great to have you here today, Pamela. Excited to see you. Some new faces. So let me explain how the meeting's going to go. Very first thing we're going to do is we're going to give you some ideas of how to create engagement on social media. We will take that over into the NowSite program. We'll all make a post together. We'll show an example post. Then we will take 5 minutes and we all go and do our work. Now, I know for most trainings, they'll be like, well, now just go do this and we're off to our way. Why do we put up a 5-minute timer? Adrian Chenault, myself, Tom, all of us figured out that when we do things together in community, we usually become more consistent a heck of a lot faster. I walk at 4:30 a.m. I walk every day. 4:30 a.m. I get up and I'm out the door. Well, that didn't happen by me doing it by myself. One of my friends who lives here in the village also, we get together and we go walk every morning. Now, on the mornings where you don't want to do it, guess what? We still do it. And it's kind of like what Diane was saying. Today I get to post because I really feel like it. But she was still posting. She wasn't quite feeling like it because she was sick, but it gave her the consistency when we do things together. So that's why we do it. During the 5 minutes, we'll answer some questions. And then after the 5 minutes, I would love to showcase some of your posts. First of all, great way to get questions answered about your posts. Second away, great way for you guys to learn about each other, right? And what each other does. So let's go ahead and get started. Consistency is everything, but consistency does not necessarily mean making the exact same post on social media every day, right? There's so many different things that we do. So here's one thing that we need to keep in mind. Some people are going to be mostly in the stories. Some people are going to be mostly on the reels. Some people are going to be mostly in the news feed. So it's really fun when Sarah Robbins does this at an event. She'll have people raise their hands and she'll say, hey, who of you, when you get onto Facebook, likes to watch the stories? And half the audience will raise their hands. Half the audience doesn't, though. And then she'll say, okay, who of you are in the news feed? Just scroll in the news feed, and the other half of the hands up. Now, some people do both. If you are only on one, you're missing the opportunity to reach more people, right? So reels are about new people. They're not sequestered to just your followers. They can be shown anywhere to anyone that Facebook or any of the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. YouTube, they call them shorts over on YouTube. It goes to all audiences, okay? Whoever thinks, whatever that platform thinks that this person likes. Now remember, we're playing their game. Now I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, their biggest concern is keeping you on their platform as long as they can, by any means that they can, so that they can sell more things to you through their advertising and they make more money. Everybody kind of sees that, right? So if we play their game and understand that that's what they want, we can get what we want, and it creates a win-win. They get what they want, we get what we want, which is a successful business, all works out well. So, what are people looking for? January, health and wellness is big right now. But that doesn't necessarily mean you only have to do health and wellness. You can talk about money, you can talk about different things. The biggest thing about whatever you talk about on social media, better be authentic, because people will see through all the phony stuff. I have one person who keeps messaging me and it's like trying to sell me something, and I'm just like, if you could only see how phony you are, like it's so beyond clear. It's just like, and it's like, okay, you've got to stop. Blech. So when you look at the people who are most successful on social media, whether it be in the network marketing industry, the speaking industry, writing, whatever it is, let's look at Mel Robbins. Let's look at Brene Brown. Let's look at people who are actually telling their authentic story. Let's talk about Tina Joy Carroll. Let's talk about Sarah Robbins. Let's talk about the people who are actually really super successful at this. What do they have in common? They're talking about what's important to them. They're talking about what they've learned, what they're doing, where they're growing. So as a leader, your number one job is to cast vision to other people about where you are going and invite them with you. Your second responsibility is to continue to cast vision of where you're going and why they should stay on that trajectory with you. Okay? Everybody gets that, right? So what is your message? So Larry asked a great question. Could you talk about what being authentic means? The truthfulness of who you are, no matter what anybody else thinks. Now, that doesn't mean we're rude or mean and we don't let other people believe what they're going to believe, because it's not our job to tell somebody else what to believe. It's only our job to talk about our story. So the best way I can put this is the way Hank Norman, who is Mel Robbins' coach, taught Ray Higdon this, and then Ray taught me this. When we go back and talk to the person that we used to be, what have we overcome? What have we learned? Where have we grown? What have we done along that way? If we're going back and talking to that person, chances are you're being pretty authentic, because you can't go back and talk to who you used to be and tell a phony story. So inauthentic is sometimes easier to find than authentic. Inauthentic is, I take a picture with a Lamborghini that's not mine, or a McLaren, and then I go post that on social media like, here I am, I go rent an Airbnb for the weekend and take a ton of photos there and claim that it's my house. Not wrong to take pictures in an Airbnb that you're at and stuff like that, to talk about lifestyle and stuff like that. But when you say you live there, this is my house, okay, that one's not working out so well. And sometimes I tell people, yes, take those pictures, put them up on your vision board so you can start seeing yourself as that leader. But the authentic person isn't worried about trying to convince somebody that who they are. I'm not going to go out and try to convince somebody, oh, I'm so great and I'm this and I'm that. What I am going to do is talk about my authentic story of everything I've overcome, everything I've learned from that, and show my heart of how much I want other people to have the life that they deserve. That's it. Simple as that. So I hope that was helpful, Larry. So today, we're going to practice playing with our story. Now, one of the best ways you can do this, and I know I'm going to get the rolly eyes from a couple of you, and that's okay. Grab your phone, grab the video, grab the camera. I know the day Vicky comes back, we start talking about video again, right? We haven't talked about it the entire time she's been gone, and she comes back and we talk about video. One of the best things that I've seen is the way Mel Robbins will just grab her phone. She has no makeup on, her hair's a mess, and she'll just start recording something that's on her mind, and there's the short. There's the reel. We think reels have to be all of this fancy stuff, and we have to use this program to do all these creative things and everything else. And then we don't do it because we don't know how. And it's tough and it's hard. It's like, oh, it's going to take me forever to learn this. And I got to learn this and I got to be perfect first. First of all, you don't have to be perfect with anything. Let's throw perfect out because perfect, it's what's got us in trouble with this world in the first place, right? They take a model and they Photoshop her to the point where she has like no waist at all, and everybody's like, what the heck? Like, come on. We've done enough of that, right? But grabbing your phone and just pressing play on your camera with the video turned on you and talking about something that's important to you that day. Maybe you're on a weight loss journey and you're talking about the things you're learning. Maybe you talk about the day you struggle and you're like, sometimes it's a struggle. I'll be honest with you. Change is a struggle. Maybe you're talking about the fact that you decided to do a business. Maybe you're talking about like Deborah. Deborah here, she does classes too. And maybe she's talking about something in health and wellness that's super important. The foods to take out and how to replace them, how to make it easier, right? Because we always say, don't do this, don't do this. And then people are like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's like, well, here's an easy replacement for this. Here's an easy replacement for seed oils on your salad. Here's an easy replacement for this. Simple stuff, right? Now, you can do this with post. You can do this in your stories, just talking about something very quick in your stories, or just by text on stories. You can do this in your newsfeed. But you're going to find that the more you do video, the more followers you are going to gain. Okay. And I know for some of you, you're like, oh, Elizabeth, come on, give me something else, please, today. I know. Video can be tough. I used to hate it. When Adrian first said, hey, you're going to do all the lives, I was teaching on stage and doing all this stuff. That wasn't a problem. But there was something about the Facebook Live that I was like, oh, and me being sweet and nice, he says, okay, well, let's do Facebook Lives 5 days a week for our community. You can do that, right? Oh yeah, sure. I can do that. I got off the phone with him and I'm like, wow, I don't, I was terrified. I'm not kidding. I was 100% terrified. I was scared. I freaked out. I will tell you how bad it was. I grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote out everything I was going to teach. I wrote out an entire training for a 3-minute Facebook Live, but I had it word for word what I was going to say. I will read the words. That didn't work out very well. Okay. And as I kept doing it each day, and each day got a little easier, till finally one day I was living in Sedona, Arizona, and I was trying to do the Facebook Live, and all of a sudden I see under my feet a spider. But if you live in Arizona, you know they're not just spiders. It was a wolf spider, and it was this big. And I'm having to try to hold up my feet and do the Facebook Live and do the video and try to keep a solid face. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and I have no idea why, they start cutting the tree down right behind my window. A giant spider under my feet. And at that point, I was like, everything that could go wrong just did. I nearly fell out of my chair and I'm like, I'm done. I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. And after that, it got easier. So if you're worried about the disaster that can happen on a live, the sooner you let the disaster happen, the easier it gets. And then you just go with it and you're like, whatever. So we're going to make a post about our story today. Number one, what is your story? Okay. What is the thing that you have overcome? What's the thing that you've learned? What's the thing that's important to you? What's on your heart today? Those are the areas that you can look at. Okay. Maybe for Diane, she's lost 80 pounds now. She's completely transformed her life, right? Maybe she goes back and talks about, and her title at the top maybe is self-hatred. And then talks about how the struggle of seeing her own worthiness and her own value. That could be it. People are going to connect with that. They'll connect with her journey. They'll want to know how she did it. And then she'll have conversations about her business. Maybe Glenn talks about, the healing modalities, massage therapy, and how we have to take care of ourselves and the importance of self-care. And maybe at a time when he wasn't taking care of himself, and ask people, do you need help in this area? He sells a health and wellness patch that can help in a lot of different things. Okay. Deborah, again, How to replace one food with another. Very easy to say, don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat trans fats, don't eat this, don't whatever. Well, how do you replace it if you're just starting out? Maybe it's that. Okay. For me, I went from foster care and a homeless teenager because I emancipated myself out of it and said, the heck with this. I'm going to make this on my own somehow, to living an incredible life in La Jolla, California. Right. The beach, like right there in the village. A life that I could have never dreamed of when I was young. A life I couldn't have dreamed of in my 30s. All the change happened later in life. So I can go back and talk to that person. I can go back and talk to the person who's still struggling with their weight. You know, my weight journey has been transformative, a completely different person. So whatever it is, you go back and talk to the person that it was that's still there, or you talk from your heart about something that's important to you today. The only things I will say to stay away from, in general, as a rule, stay away from politics, unless that's part of your platform, because you will alienate half of the people, you know, for your product or service. Now, if it's part of your platform, there are the people that it's their platform, you know, the Michael Reagans or the whatevers, you know, if that's part of your platform, then go for it. But make sure that you really want that as part of your platform. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do a post together. We're going to come over here to our Facebook. And first, I want to come over here to the official corporate NowSite group. The official corporate NowSite group, if you are not a part of this group, you will want to be a part of this group, okay? Upcoming events will be listed here of things that we've got a new launch of some new tech that's going to be available in the NowSite system. So you want to make sure that you have this here. And of course, you're going to be able to find the replays as well. So let me show you. It'll look like this. And there's nobody over there watching live right now because you're all over here. So yay. I'm so glad everybody came. Okay. Next, this is me right here. My name's Elizabeth Larson. If you don't know me, feel free to come over here to facebook.com/etransformsyou. I'm a personal and business transformation coach, teacher, trainer, author, speaker, professional network marketer. I've been building online for a very long time. Started out on the stages of an essential oil company years, like over 10 years ago. Love what I do with a passion. All my posts are made with the NowSite system. And so if you ever want to do a make it your own, or you just don't even know what to post that day, feel free to come over here. And you could do a copy and paste into the NowSite system and it'll make a post based on your post. You can follow me, but if you friend me, please friend me. If you friend me, I can see your posts. And then, you know, if there's anything I can help you with, it's easier to help you that way. Okay. All right, let's come over to the NowSite system. So 3 things that we do. Remember, we post on social media. That's number 1. We comment on other people's posts. That's because when you come over here to the news feed, there's only so many posts that people are going to see on the news feed. And if you have 4, 5, 6,000 followers, imagine how many of their posts you actually see. J. Michael. Is J. Michael on here today, Mike? He has the most beautiful wife. They are so cute together. I just love them. That is an In-N-Out wrap. Sorry, haven't had breakfast yet. Okay, so when you go through the news feed, there's only so many people that are going to see that post that you have made. So the easiest way to start more conversations on top of your post is to comment on other people's posts. And then, of course, number 3 is start a conversation. This is taking it from the comments. Let's go over here to Steve's post about us. And it's taking these, and Steve, you're not making comments, dude. So it's about making comments over here. Let me come back over to this one. Well, let me see if I can find this. Oh, I think the easiest way to show it is with this one right here. So I did a post on the weight loss challenge that I'm doing. And so I have 42 comments over here. And what I'm trying to do is start conversations, and then what's the next step? Now I'm going to reply to her. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go message her and then tell her what the next step is, right? So it's a back and forth, where you go and reply to the person, and then you take it over into Messenger,
Sunday,
WhatsApp,
Monday.
Telegram, whatever it is, right? Okay. All right. So next, let's go ahead and do our post on social media. Now, if you have a picture that you want to use, you could do selfie AI or caption my image. I tend to not use them, even though I have tons of photos that and I have an idea of a photo that I'm going to use. And the reason is for that, I happen to like caption and suggested image and long post and suggested image for my posts, because then I could choose the image after I'm done. Because sometimes the NowSite will give me something so much better than what I was originally thinking, and then the photo doesn't really match what it is that it's talking about. And so then I go and find another photo in my library to use. So caption and suggested image. Come here. Write me a post about my story of transformation, period. And that the first step to any change is just taking the first step, period. Okay. Now I'm going to push. Now I already know what it is I want to write. Okay. But I want to show you the power of the AI and how it is going to write most of it for me, and then how I'm going to modify it as I go, right? So what's your story? Diane could say, write me a post about my story of transformation of losing 80 pounds, right? Deborah could write her story about her transformation of relationships, or her belief in herself, the transformation of going, this woman rocks. Do you understand? Like, she was a lieutenant colonel in the military. Like, I'm not kidding. She blows me away. Like, I have the most honor and respect for this woman right here. Incredible, incredible woman, like role model, like amazing. So she could talk about her transformation from leaving and retiring from the military and coming over and becoming this health coach who's so passionate about health and in people's lives, right? So what's your story? All right, let's lean on the AI, even though I know what it is that I want to write. We're going to come over here. And as the AI is going, remember what it's doing is it's looking at all that information that I already put in there. So when I sign up for this, it's going to ask me a series of questions. I answer the questions, and then I have the ability to continue. It's going to continue learning about me to the point where it knows so much about me. I tell it just this thing and it puts it out there. So let's look at the beginning of this, right? Transform your life. I was once shackled by fear and insecurity, but everything changed when I took that first step. Remember, big changes start small. Just take the leap and see where it leads you. Transformation journey. Now, I could put in my image, take one of my images and throw it in there, right? I could either do something like this, or I could do something like that. Let's just put this there. So personally, honestly, when I look at myself backwards, I think I'm aging backwards. Like when I look at myself when I was younger, I look at pictures now, I'm like, that blows me away. I didn't realize how unhappy I was. I didn't realize any of these things at the time. But I knew something had to change in my life, so I took that one step, right? The girl right there who started working with Danny Johnson over 10 years ago was very unhappy, didn't have great relationships. I was successful. I was already speaking on stages and stuff like that, but I'll tell you one thing, as soon as the event was over, I'd run right back to my hotel room. I wouldn't hang out with people. I struggled in relationships. I struggled in so many things. So I could leave it like this. Transform your life. I was once shackled by fear and insecurity, but everything changed when I took the first step. Remember, big changes start small, take the leap and see where it leads you. Okay, I could leave it like that and just inspiration. But what I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to say make it longer. I've already given it the story about my transformation. I like the vein it's going in. Now, remember, if I like the vein it's going in, I'm going to modify it with this AI right here. If I don't like it, I'm going to just generate again. So it starts in a whole new direction. But I like this. Now, again, I want to lean on the AI as much as possible. I could say make it longer and give it some specific instructions. Talk more about my weight loss journey. Talk more about my transformation of, from self-hatred to loving myself, things like that. So, include my story of going from self-hatred to self-love and seeing my worth and value and how that changed everything in my life. Okay. Now, I'm going to hit regenerate. Yeah, I know my Grammarly doesn't like it, but the AI doesn't care. All right. It's like, right, Mike? It's like, yeah, okay. All right. Now for many of you, you're going to go, that's wrong. Okay. So I have a couple of choices, just so you know. I can either use all of it. I can use some of it. I can ask it to shorten it a little bit, but I'm going to read through it first and see what it gave me, because many times I like to overshoot and it give me more and take out the pieces I don't like. So it has more meat to it, right? Okay. Transform your life. I want to share with you my personal journey from a place of deep self-hatred and insecurity to one filled with self-love and recognition of my true worth and value. Now, remember, you want to keep your paragraphs no more than 5, and preferably 4 or under. 4 sentence or 4 lines or under, because it's much easier to digest. It wasn't an easy path, but everything changed when I decided to take that first step towards embracing who I truly am. For years, I felt trapped by fear and doubt, constantly underestimating myself and showering myself with criticism. But one day I realized that I couldn't continue living in this negative space. It was time to shift my perspective and take control of my own narrative. Earlier today, I have a generic community, and earlier today I was talking about the stories we tell ourselves, right? It's the stories that we tell ourselves that will either bring us to success or hamper our success. So it was time to shift from my perspective and take control of my own narrative. That's when I took that all-important leap of faith. I started making small changes, practicing self-compassion, surrounding myself with supportive people, and setting achievable goals. Eventually, these steps transformed into larger, more impactful changes. With each step forward, I began to see the world differently and understand my inherent value and potential. I learned to appreciate myself for who I am, flaws and all. And this newfound self-love opened up so many opportunities and joys in my life. Now I'm living an amazing life that I could have never dreamed of, period. I'm successful and happy and love my life, period. All right. If you're feeling stuck or burdened by self-doubt, remember that big changes start small. Just take a leap and trust that in the journey ahead. You're worthy of love and greatness. If you need help like I did, I would love for you to come join my community, period. We are a group of people who are going after their dreams, supporting one another along the way, and genuinely learning how to love ourselves and how to love life, period. If this is you, if this is what you would like, put a me down below, or oh, it just screwed up. I don't know why it does that sometimes. If this is what put a me down below or DM me. That's funny, Deborah. Did you see what it did? That's hilarious. Or message me. Do not live another day less than what you are worth. Period. You deserve more. Okay. Now, before I put this out on Facebook, Instagram, or any other place, there's a couple of things I want to do. If I'm going to do the writing version of this, the written version of this, I'm going to put some emojis in there to break up color because when it's straight black and white, very hard to read. So the more emojis you put in there to break up and put color in there, the easier it is for somebody to digest. This is way too long. If you need help like I did, I love you can join my community. We're group you going after to support one another along the way, Jim. It's like I'll break it up here and here. Okay, so I broke it up a little bit more. Now I could take some of that out of there. I tend to do, I get a lot of great conversations out of longer posts. I do not get as many comments, but I do get better conversations out of it that actually go over into Messenger and to other things. So now, one other thing you could do for my video people, who are my video people, who's going to take a challenge and try to do a reel. When you do, yeah, there's my girl, Vicky. Okay. So when you do a post like this and it's long and you're like, this is great, you may consider going and opening up your phone and turning this into a reel, turning this into a live, turning this into a video and repurposing it multiple places. If you go and do it as a live, you can not only have it live, but you can download it and then turn it into a reel. Then you could also put it on Instagram. Then you could also put it on TikTok. You could cut it down and put it on TikTok. All of these different things that you can do, right? So when you post to social media, remember you do not have to connect your social media to the NowSite system. As long as you are logged into social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, or whatever it is you use, you're just going to go over to that platform. And even though I made all my edits in Facebook, it's going to take a lot of that and put it over into the LinkedIn one, just like this. So when I click it, you'll see it's very close, but it's written a little bit more for that platform. And so then I hit get started. I hit post. When I come over here to make the post, I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put my photo in there, right? Hit next. And then I'll clean it up a little bit before I hit post with some more emojis just to make it a little bit better and easier to read. Now I could take that exact same post and now I could take it over to Instagram. And the reason it blanks out for a minute is because it's actually rewriting it for Instagram now. It's taking all that information and kind of making it into more of an Instagram size. And then I have Facebook as well. Now, one last question I want to address before we go and make our posts and we do questions. Can I take if I read the Instagram version and I like that best, can I take that over to Facebook, into LinkedIn, into Alignable? Yes, I can. Once you hit this button, get started, all of this content is automatically copied to the clipboard of your device, your computer, your phone, whatever you are using, and you can go anywhere, including making a blog post of it, which I may do that. So, very easy to get your message out there, but here's the thing. You are looking for your tribe essentially. Remember, in everything you're posting and doing, that's the reason you want to be as authentic as possible, that you want to tell the truth of your story as much as possible. You just want to be who you are as much as possible. Because you're looking for your tribe. You're looking for the followers who are your tribe. And out of that tribe, you're going to get all the product users and all the business builders that you need out of that. So let's put 5 minutes on the board real quick. We're going to go do our posts. It was a little bit longer, but I wanted to cover the video aspect of that too. 5 minutes up. Let's go ahead and open up our NowSite systems. Let's click on number 1. And let's go ahead and make our social media posts. And then if you have a question, during that time, we'll go ahead and do questions like with Diane right now during the 5 minutes as well. But I'm excited to see some of your posts if some of you want to share today. Okay, Diane?
Hi there. So I've been working on a post to do with my health and wellness.
Okay.
But I really like the picture at the bottom, but I can't remember how to take it to the images and then write on it. I'm just blank.
Oh, okay. Perfect question. Okay.
And I don't want to lose the picture.
Okay. So did you get the original picture from the NowSite system?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to show you this. So let's pretend that this picture is not me, that the NowSite system gave me this picture.
Yeah.
Okay. The very first thing I'm going to need to do, Diane, if I want to take this over and actually put the writing on it, because remember what's going to happen as soon as I hit change image, that image is going to be gone, right?
That's what I'm scared of.
It will be. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to hit get started, which
Okay.
seems weird, but it's going to download the photo into, so go over like you were to social media. Okay.
Okay.
Now I've got the photo downloaded, or I have the photo downloaded. Now I can hit change image and go over to my images and hit select and now upload the image back in. So now I just uploaded it. Then I click on it, click edit, and then I can put the text on the image of whatever it is that I want to say, like transform
Okay.
your life in
I know. It
2025.
was this other part that yeah.
And then let's make it bigger font size so everybody could see the writing, right? And then I can put the writing on it. So the key is download the photo like you were going to use the photo on social media first, then upload the photo back, or else you will lose it.
Okay.
And you can possibly
Yeah.
search for it, but sometimes I have a hard time searching for the photo again.
Well, that's why. And I really like the picture. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, I'm just gonna. And that's why this NowSite is so good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we forget, guys, sometimes we forget.
Right.
And we have somebody amazing like Elizabeth that just says, oh, yeah, just do this. Sure.
But now you're going to go and just do this though, aren't you?
I hope so.
You will.
Adrian will be so proud of you, Diane.
You can see I'm getting back into what I was.
Yeah. Amen. I love it. I love it. All right, let's go over to Carol. Carol, I gotta tell you, your Zoom photo when you are offline is just gorgeous. I love that photo of you.
Thank you so much. It's about 2, 3 years old, but it's a good one. Yes.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I was curious, how do you combine the pictures that you have, like the two up on the side of your other one, and then you're saving it in as a group because you're able to just then load it as the three at once? I understand some of that, but I'm curious how you figure out the exact proportions because Facebook is different than, yeah.
Yeah. So great question. I actually made that photo in Canva where I put 3 of my photos in a collage thing. So you go into Canva, the free Canva will do this, and you just look up collage, and or you just start out with, a custom size of whatever you want, like an Instagram post or a blank Instagram or a blank Facebook. Facebook, of course, is wider than the Instagram, but if you use Instagram, it will work well on Facebook too. And then
Okay. How do we know the dimensions to use though?
so if you go into Canva, under templates, under social posts, and then click on Instagram post, it will give you the dimensions automatically. Or if you do Facebook post, it will give you the dimensions automatically. I don't know why it does too now. I guess it really wants to make it more dramatic, Coach Mike. I don't know. All right, let's go over to Vicky.
Okay. I'm all of a sudden I got confused. To do a Facebook Live and the reel you said is going to go to more people.
Yeah.
So how would but that's only up for 24 hours, right?
No, stories are only up 24 hours. Reels stay forever.
Oh my God. Okay. Where's the reel? The reel goes into Facebook, right?
Yeah. So what you would do and if you want to multiply your efforts, because I'm all about using content as many times as possible. If you went and did a Facebook Live, your next
Okay.
key is to download that video onto your phone. Okay. Then I'll show you the computer version of it, but it's the same on your
Phone.
it's the exact same on your phone, where you're going to come over to caption my video. So when we click on social posts, we're going to come over here to caption my video. When we do that, we say what the video is about. We're not ever uploading the video in there, remember? We say what the video is about. We say what we want the caption to be about. And then when we hit it, let's say video of me talking about how the stories we tell ourselves will either lead to success or to our failure. That's the video. So that's what I talked about earlier this morning. And what do I want the caption to be about? In order to change our life, we have to change the narrative, period. We change what we focus on, and we change the direction of where we are going. Okay, whatever, right? No, that's why did I hit surprise me? What did I do that for? Goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Video of me talking about how the story we tell ourselves will either lead to our success or failure. The stories we tell ourselves will lead to success or failure. I'll just throw both of them in there. Okay, now I'm going to hit generate. And what you're going to notice is that there is a whole different set of icons that are going to show up here than when we do post ones. And one of them is the Facebook Reel. Another one's TikTok, right? So when we do this, and another one's YouTube. So
I could use the same video for TikTok and Facebook and a reel.
Yep, you could do a Facebook Reel. which this other second Facebook right here with the little film thing, that's Facebook
That's
Reel.
when it comes up. Okay.
That's Instagram, and you can post your reel. This is YouTube, where it's called a short. And then you can post on TikTok also. You could take that same video and put it on all of those platforms.
Thank you so much. Because it was going around and around and around. Couldn't get it together.
Fantastic. All right. So we're going to go look at Bob's post real quick. And since he actually put his link in there, so let's look at this. First of all, I love the photo. That is fantastic. I've made a bit of a transformation. Fantastic, right? This is day 4 of my 90-day transformation journey. Looking back, I remember January 2022 when I embarked on my first ever 90-day transformation. It was a life-changing experience where I shed 22 pounds and lost 2 inches off my waist within the first month. I gained so much more than physical changes. I was energized, felt happier, enjoyed greater digestion, and most importantly, developed a higher sense of self-worth. Photos are from my first transformation. This time around, as I dive into the new chapter, I'm fully aware that life loves to throw curveballs at us, often stirring up old habits. I've been hangry and embracing distraction eating. But I'm determined to push through with hope and humor, ready to transform anxious moments into empowering milestones. Let's embrace this exciting roller coaster ride together. Love this. The only thing I would do is I would just put more white space in these paragraphs. Break them up a little bit further to make them more digestible. Last thing I would do is invite people to join you on the journey. Would you like to do this with me? Love for you to have you along with me. Much more fun to do it together.
Great. I'll edit it that way. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. Yes, Trisha. Reels have tons of posting options, so lots of different ways that we can do that. Okay, I have to wrap this up. I have another training that I have to go teach on right after this. So we will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific for my AI Live. For my guest, Pamela and Amir, I'm glad you were here today. Please come back tomorrow. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific. And bring your questions. Hey, I'm in this kind of company. I need help with these kinds of posts. We will play together and we'll do a post together and teach you how to do this. Feel free to unmute as you go. And I love you guys. And I hope you have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
love you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Elizabeth,
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Do
Have
your
a good
post
day,
tomorrow. I
everyone.
just saw it, Paul. So bring your post tomorrow and I'll showcase yours tomorrow. I got to give this back over to Adrian. Have a great day, everybody. Love y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.